EPSL fans. Week 2, Ramona Rams taking on St. Francis Panthers. We got a good one here for you guys. User versus user matchup. First one for Ramona this season. St. Francis. Tough defeat last week against their rival De La Salle. Had a strong pushback at the end of the game, but ultimately came up short. But decent game for their freshman quarterback, Reese. And St. Francis is going to look to get a dub in the one tick in the win column here as they take on the Ramona Rams, and it is the home opener here for St. Francis. They punt the ball away to Ramona. James Press takes the field. Ramona with a big win last week against the Belleville Tigers, and they're at home as they are on the road here. And a nice little quick pass out to Volta for a gain of 6. The first play of the game. Press takes a snap again, throws it down to Hogan. He picks up the first down, breaks off a tackle, picks up 9 yards, and a Ramona first down. Play action, backup tight end with the catch, and he's got some space. Picks up about 13 to 14 yards there. Great start here for Ramona, who are moving. Looks like they're playing hurry up here to start the game. Hand out to Bo, who had a nice game last weekend. And there we go, 20 rushes, 156 yards, and a touchdown. Great game for him in his opening game of the season, and he's going to want to replicate those stats again this week. Takes that first play for about 2 yards, and there's another pass and another catch for Volta, who's got 2 catches already on the day for 24 yards. Volta had a big week last week. That highlight reel catch, which really sparked the offensive game for Ramona. But Volta the third there with the big catch as he's brought down. Didn't see who was in on the tackle there, but the offense is moving quick. It's hard to really call out plays on both sides of the field here, but Bo has a run, and he's brought down by Alexander, the freshman defensive end there. He was able to catch up to him and drag him down before he could pull away for extra yardage. But inside the red zone here, 16-yard line. The Rams are moving. Delayed handoff. Oh, Bo with a nice little move. Spins. Gets into the secondary. He's brought down by... it was Carnesian. And apologies if I'm pronouncing these names wrong, guys, but I'm doing my best here. Play action. Press lobs him to the end. Oh, that's broken up nicely. I didn't even see who was on the covers there. They've got Love, Williams, and Andrews, all their cornerbacks for St. Francis, and one of them had a nice little play there. It's a little lob pass there to Volta. Reaches up, grabs it, and is brought down at about the 3-yard line here. So, 3rd and goal here for Ramona. Preston shotgun. Snap. Gonna look to use his legs. Oh, he gets slammed at the line. Wow. Cox with a monstrous hit to deny Prust, who was trying to slip into the end zone. Makes a move. Hey, Cox said, nope, not today. So we'll see if they decide to go for it, and they are. Offense is on the field. Pressed under the center. He's going to pass. He's going to run, and this time he's going to get in. Denied on that 3rd down, but he gets in on 4th down. And we talked about it last week. He had a rushing touchdown. Last week we We know he uses his legs anywhere inside the red zone is a threat. And we see it again there. So it's a 6-0 lead on that first drive, and you couldn't ask for a much better start for Ramona. And defensively for St. Francis, gotta regroup on the bench and draw some plays up and figure out how to get a stop there. That was hurry up offense from Ramona, and it seemed like St. Francis was just a little behind there. So here's the return. Oh, it's a nice return for St. Francis. They get out to about the 35. That's a great return by Sant, freshman wide receiver. And here comes Reese, who started that game slow a little bit last week, but picked it up second half. Almost led them to a comeback versus the rival Pilots, and he's going to want to carry that momentum into the game here. He hands it off. Finds a lane. What a run. Rivers with a solid run on first down. Gets a St. Francis first down on the opening offensive play of the game for the Panthers. Reese in shotgun. Directing at the line here. Takes the snap to make a pass and finds his man. It's a great pass and a nice catch by Kirkland, another freshman wide receiver. So we're going to talk a lot about freshman wide receivers here, as St. Francis is a very young team. Reese in shotgun again. Looks like he's going to run a lot of plays out of shotgun today. Blitz off the edge, and he goes down. That's the linebacker Westfall with the big sack there. Looked like he was lined up in coverage on maybe the tight end, and he was all a misdirection as he just blitzed off the edge and was able to get the big sack. Loss of 6. Recent shotgun again. Pass it down, and it's caught. And that is a two-way player. For St. Francis, 22 Andrews. And that's a pickup of 13, so it's going to be 3rd and 3 here. Reese is looking to scramble and gets through the hole. Out of the lane, and he throws it. Oh. He got a little ambitious there. Went for the touchdown, the home run play. But they're going to go on. So we saw Ramona go for it on their opening drive on 4th down. And St. Francis going to do the same. Pass, and oh, he couldn't hold on to it. It's dropped by Kirkland. He had it. They drew that play up nicely. The play was on. He had the catch, and then a great tackle from Lewis, who, of course, a revenge game for him. He was a big linebacker for St. Francis last year, but he's in there to break that up with a big hit. And for St. Francis, that's tough, because you're probably in field goal range, and you sacrifice the 3 points. There's Andrews with the big tackles. So we just mentioned him making a big play on the offense. Talked a little about this last week. The two-way players. It's something we're real excited about here at EPSL. And you see Andrews making plays on offense and defense there. Pressed, throws it out wide. It's caught by the halfback, Bo. Brought down by Andrews again. So he's been heavily involved here. A couple tackles, a couple catches. It's going to be 3rd and 6. Oh, and it's a big play. Lone coverage. Looks like Wagner found a little opening in the defensive secondary there. Gain of 18 for Wagner with the big catch. 2 touchdowns for him last week, and he's looking to build on that again this week with a big catch there to start his day. Shotgun for Press, throws it underneath. It's caught by their two-way player, Keontae Young. Two-way players getting involved here. You love to see it. Gain of 13 there for Young. So Ramona's moving down the field quickly again here. Play action. Throw! Threads the needle from Press, and he finds Wagner again, who's getting involved early and often here in this first quarter. Little pressure in his face there for us. Passes maybe a little behind Wagner, but he's able to turn his body, make that catch, secure it, throw with the handoff. Bundles his way forward for a gain of about 6 as the Rams are in the red zone. 5-yard line here, 2nd and 4 though, so they can get a first down and not get the touchdown if they get to about the 1 or the half-yard line. Press, throwing, finds Hogan, and he's in for the touchdown. First touchdown of the season for the tight end Hogan, James Hogan. Great catch, and he's able to turn upfield quickly. Had a man on his back, but catches that. Love was just chasing him down, almost able to get him out of bounds, but Logan fights through the tackle and gets into the end zone for a 14-0 lead for Ramona. So it's a strong start here for Ramona, who are up now 14-0. We're approaching the end of the first quarter here, but user versus user game, you definitely want to get off to a quick start like this. And for St. Francis, you're wondering maybe if you just taken that field goal earlier in the game. Maybe it's only 7-3 now, but of course, you know, can't dwell on past things here. So it's 14-0, and, you know, for Ramona, you need a good drive, long drive here. Sorry, for St. Francis, you need a solid drive here. You got to get some points on the board. Hand off to Rivers Jr., and he picks up about 6 there. 19 rushes, 60 yards for Enzo Rivers last week. Reese in shotgun, looking to make a pass, and completes a pass to... Ooh, that was Andrews again. Oh, sorry, that was Sant, number 45, the freshman. It's a big chunk play for St. Francis. He beat Euphoria, it looks like, there in the middle of the field. Beat the press and got a big chunk play. Exactly what St. Francis needed. Shotgun again for Reese. We're going to see him playing a lot out of the shotgun here. He wants to let it fly. Reese in the shotgun. He's looking for a pass. Looks to the sideline. That was a dangerous pass. And Euphoria, who got beat on that last play, was looking to flip the script. Pick that one off. It's a fake handoff. Reese looking for somewhere to go and just nothing. And there's that man. 3 plays in a row I've mentioned here. Euphoria, who almost had an interception. Tackles Reese for no gain on the read option there. So 3rd and 10 here. As we head into the second quarter. 14-0 Ramona. Quick start for them. St. Francis is driving, but a big 3rd down here. See what they can do. On the Ramona 42. So 3rd and 10 here for Reese. Let's see what he draws up. Shotgun. Bring the pressure. It's a huge play. Andrews with the leaping grab. Brings that one down. It's a high ball from Reese. He had to do it to get it over that linebacker's head. Lewis in coverage, but that's a perfect throw. Over his head, so he can't block that. Andrews gets up in the air, not afraid to take a hit. Comes down with it. You gotta love that. Big time play for Ramona. Sorry, St. Francis. Hand off to Rivers, who picks up about 7 yards there on the carry. St. Francis is moving, looking for a touchdown. First touchdown of the game. Recent shotgun. Gonna do another fake handoff, and Reese is rushing. He takes a hard hit, but he pops back up. 1st and goal for St. Francis and a 1st down. So they're gonna be at about the 2 or 3 yard line here. Playbook wide open. You got probably 4 down territory at this part of the field. Hand off to Rivers. He's met in the backfield. Wow. Big play. That's safety. Geno Smith comes up, makes a Huge tackle. Looks like maybe they lost a couple yards. Lost a 2 yards there. Empty backfield to Reese. Looks like he's audible on a bit here. QB draw. Oh, he gets caught up in the blockers. And he goes down. But just like that, it's 3rd and goal. He pulled it down and just got caught up in, looks like, in the line there. Tried to wiggle through a hole, but it just couldn't make it happen. Man coverage here. Player in motion. Reese got time to make a play. And he does. What a play. And that's Kirkland with the catch. Big play for St. Francis there. Great composure from Reese. Navigates the pocket. And Kirkland. Little slant. Beats his man. Makes the catch and gets down. Secures that ball. Well done. Nice drive from St. Francis. And it is 14-7. So great response from the Panthers there as they move down the field. And you gotta shout out Andrews with that huge play on 3rd and 10 where they picked up about 20 yards. Got sandwiched between 2 Ramona defenders, but he secured the catch, brought it down, made a big play for his team. Press back onto the field here. Their own 26-yard line. Hand off to Bo, who's met in the backfield by Cox.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 25-yard line.
Great penetration from Cox on that play. Catch by Hogan. 3rd and 8 here for Ramona. This is a big play here. St. Francis gets a stop. They get the ball back. Preston's going to run. Oh, wow. He picks it up. Deontay Young had a nice block in there. Looks like the linebacker might have been able to make a play. Whereas the Andrews there might have been able to make a play, but Young just kind of obstructs him a little bit and gives Preston a little space to make it, find that extra yard or 2. Play action again. Dumps it off the halfback Bo, who scampers his way. Gains about 15, 16 yards there. Ramona first down. Ramona at the 42. Preston shotgun. And hand off to Bo. Finds a lane. First down and more. Into the secondary, and it's getting another gain of about 16 there. And another first down. Gain of 19 for Ramona. Just big play after big play, and there's Alexander, the freshman DN, with a big tackle. Enough of that, he said. Loss of 5 for Bo on the toss play there. Shook off the blocker. Penetration. Brings him down. We love to see that for St. Francis. The freshman getting involved there. Shotgun play for Press. Throws it to the outside. It's caught by Bo. And a nice tackle by Love. Gain of 3. So they're still behind the sticks here. It's 3rd and 12. Field goal range, so just be safe with the ball. It's like a little screen pass to the tight end Hogan. Picks up a few yards. A safe play. Not enough for a first down, but it's like it'll be a field goal here for Ramona to push this back up to a 2-score lead, 10 points. And it's good. 17-7. And here's the kickoff. Turn here from Sant. Takes a big hit. Yeah, I'll take over around the 27-yard line here. St. Francis, so Reese comes back on the field. For St. Francis, you love to see that kind of bend it and don't break defense there. It was a few, several chunk plays for Ramona, and then the drive-changing play was that tackle for loss from Alexander. Another little quarterback draw there as Reese takes that one for a yard. We've seen them run that play a few times. Not a ton of success, but I do want to see Reese use his legs a little bit. So he takes this one. Nice little throw underneath of the tight end. First time we've mentioned his name, James, who had a big game last week. They're definitely going to want to get him more involved here in the offense. And just his first catch of the day. There's Andrews again.
Offside, defense.
And it was a free play. It was Trayvon Austin who was coming in on the, I guess, maybe a cornerback blitz. You don't see cornerbacks offside too often, but they called the play for him, and he was a little over eager to make his one pressure opportunity of the game. And it's a big play. Andrews again. Oh man, this guy's a killer. Beautiful little lob from Reese there. And Andrews had the beating on Euphoria. What a play. What a play from Andrews. What a catch. What a throw from Reese. As St. Francis is moving just outside the red zone at the 21 here. Andrews is having a hell of a game so far this half. On both sides of the ball, I should mention. Reese takes the snap here. Throws it underneath. Kirkland with the catch. As they pick up 6 on that play. Inside the red zone at just about the 15-yard line. Andrews in motion, handoff to Rivers, picks up the first down. Takes a big hit from Perea, but not after he picks up the first down. And that'll be the 2-minute warning. 17-7. Rams up. St. Francis Panthers driving. The 9-yard line. Looking like a run play here, yep. And Westfall meets him in the backfield. Looks like he maybe got back to the line of scrimmage, might have lost a yard. And Ramona calls a timeout. Looks like they want to try and get the ball back to their offense. But for St. Francis here, if you can just get some points, you get kickoff second half, you do the double whammy. It's another handout. Oh, it's a fake to Rivers. Back to backup tight end, I believe. Cameron, maybe? I'm not sure what his name is. But a good stop there and a timeout from Ramona. Uh-oh. Big sack. I think that was You Suck. You saw him and Love just kind of do a flip on the pressure on the line there. The center went with the D tackle outside instead of staying in his position. And it just opened up a huge hole. And Suck ran right through it and got the big sack. Huge sack. Field goal is up and good, and 17-10 for Ramona. St. Francis closing the gap. And for Ramona, coach, you see, why he was calling those timeouts. Gives his team 1 minute and 37 seconds here to try and make something happen. No timeout, so you got to play smart ball here. I don't know about that. That was a very interesting play. There was about 4 receivers all clumped up. That could have been catastrophic. You can't throw an interception at this part of the field. It's caught by Wagner. He breaks around and does he get out of bounds? He does. Looked like he was trying to fight for some extra yards, but he was pushed out of bounds, and he got lucky there on that because it didn't look like he was running toward the sideline. That's not a great play. You're going to lose 2 yards. You lose 2 yards there, and yeah, you can't stop the clock. So we're down here to a minute. That's probably a really bad play decision here. And likewise there, you gain 4 yards, but you lose 15, 20 seconds off the clock. So 3rd and 8 already. If you're St. Francis, honestly, you might call a timeout if they don't get the first down here. And they don't, and they stop the clock. So for St. Francis, you don't even have to call timeout. And now you get the ball back with 36 seconds and 3 timeouts. So interesting play calling there. That looks like a shank. Jeez Louise. So just a horrible end of the half for Ramona. Some interesting play calling on that drive, and then an absolute shank from the punter. And you're going to give, Andrew's going to catch that and get out of bounds. Well done. 5th catch for Andrew, 90 yards. Having a day. 28 seconds here. Picks up the first down, and they're going to call a timeout. 24 seconds. And they probably need another maybe 15, 20 yards. It's very manageable. Getting to field goal range. Took about 8 there. Another timeout. So they got 1 timeout left, 20 seconds. The whole playbook is open here. You can go it up the middle, call timeout. Or you can run up the middle like this and slide and call a timeout. There you go. Well played from Reese. So 14 seconds here left on the clock. 1st and 10 at 30-yard line. Maybe even take a shot or 2 to the end zone. Ooh, that's not great. Now you got to hurry to the line. You got no timeouts. You got to spike the ball. 6, 5. Are they going to get off? Looks like they might get it off. Oh, well done. They did. 1 second left. That's brilliant. Oh, man, I was nervous for St. Francis there, but they pull it off, and they get the field goal. Well done to the Panthers on that. What a dicey end of the half there. So the timeouts from Ramona end up working out in favor of St. Francis. So they kind of mess up the end of the half there. But, I was worried when they caught that ball in bounds in the middle of the field. No timeouts. They do a great job, very effectively, run up to the line, spike the ball with 1 second left, and get the points. And now, for St. Francis, you receive the second half kickoff, and you're looking to get your first lead of the game here with a touchdown. Sant returns that one to the 20-yard line. After after the big stop, and then able to pull that field goal off. Momentum shift a little bit. Oh! And there's a blitz. Westfall again gets his 2nd sack. So it's the 2nd sack for the linebacker today. Uses speed to get around the edge. He kind of hides behind the blockers, and he sneaks up and is able to bring Reese to the ground as he catches him on the blind side a little bit as he's looking to make a play downfield. There's a big play downfield. Andrews with a 6 catch breaks 100 yards. What a game for him. 3rd and 4 here. Tight end James makes a big catch, shrugs off a tackle. Picks up 6 yards and a St. Francis 1st down. After the big sack, St. Francis is able to pick up the yards and keep this drive alive. 1st and 10 for Reese here. Oh, lob. Oh, looks like he maybe had a man. Little too much juice on the pass. Looking for Sant on that one. Just overshot the receiver. 2nd and 10 here for Reese. Got a lot of time. Dumps it off the Rivers, who gets met by a combo of Lewis and Westfall there. Bring him down. Gain of 5, and it's going to be 3rd and 5 here. Oh, and what? Blocking absolutely just fell apart there. That was... I don't know what happened there. Completely... That was just shockingly poor blocking there. They left Reese out to dry. As he's sacked for 5 yards. Davion Della picks up the sack there. And St. Francis is going to have to punt that away. Not the start they were wanting to this half. And Press is going to step on the field here. Disappointing end of the first half, but you know, the defense for Ramona able to make a big stop. Get the offense back on the field here. Oh, and it's a drop. It's a drop. I believe that was I think that was Keontae Young on the drop there. Screen past the bow. Gets a block and a hurdle and isn't able to stay in bounds. He picks up a yard. So 3rd and 9 here for Ramona after the drop and the little kind of confusion on that last play. And Press runs into pressure. It's a sack. It's like Martinez, the D tackle, makes that play. So a couple of punts here to start the second half. Both offenses stalling out a little bit. And there, that's a better punt from the Ramona player there. Dylan Andrews, 6 for 104, has had a heck of a game. That's only offense. He's got 3 or 4 tackles on the defensive side of the ball as well. He's having himself quite the game. As St. Francis looks to step on the field, another opportunity here to take the lead with a touchdown. Reese looks like he was going to run, pulls it, and decides to throw it down the field to James. Picks up 5 yards there on 1st down, 2nd and 5. Hand off to Rivers. He picks up 2 or 3 yards, and it's going to be 3rd and 2. Good tackle from Westfall there. 3rd and 2. Let's see what the Panthers are going to dial up. Pass to Westfall. Picks up the 1st down. 7 yards. He's brought down by Lewis. 1st and 10 as the Panthers are just approaching midfield here on this drive. Reese is going to take the snap. Got some pressure in his face. Throws a dart down the field. Another 1st down. Couldn't see who that was. It was, I think, James. Maybe the tight end James on that catch. But Panthers are moving here. Little touch pass to Sant. And he's hit hard. Garcia, the cornerback there for Ramona, comes up and makes a tackle. Looks like maybe a loss of a yard. Yep, loss of 1 yard, so it's going to be 2nd and 11. B6 snap. Finds James. He's got his 5th or 6th catch. He's starting to heat up a little bit. Westfall with the tackle. 3rd and medium here, 3rd and 7. I think you're just outside of field goal range probably, so you need a potentially 4 down territory depending how this play goes. Andrews is in motion. Pressure. Oh, and he makes a play. Well done by Reese. Finds the halfback Rivers, who was running that route out of the backfield. Looks like Rivers was about to take a sack, but he finds his man. Love that composure from men. Love applying the pressure again. Rivers with another catch. Picks up another 1st down. So Panthers are moving 12 yards there, and they're 1st and goal inside the 10. Last time we saw them here, they had to settle for a field goal. They've got a man wide open on the left side of the field if they could just find him, but they hand it off. And Westfall, who mentioned his name several times today, is in to make that tackle. Gain of a yard for Rivers. 2nd and goal at the 4. Hand off to the fullback. Looks like maybe he's a tight end. Picks up another yard. It's going to be 3rd and a long one here. Kirkland, Rivers. He powers his way into the end zone. Looks like he might have been stopped. But you love to see that extra effort from him to push his way into the end zone. Replay. It's hit there about a yard short from Lewis, but he digs in and is able to push into the end zone for the first lead of the game for St. Francis as they take a 3-point lead here, 20-17. Great drive from St. Francis there. Several third down completions to keep that drive alive. The big one to Rivers on that play. So Reese is looking really good today. Finding Rivers out of the backfield, looking nice composed. And Ramona, who scored those 2 touchdowns in the first quarter, haven't done much since. Looking to do something here as the 3rd quarter is slowly coming to an end. Pitched by the backup tight end. He breaks the tackle and is able to push forward for a couple of extra yards. Gains 4. 2nd and 6. Hand off to Bo, who hesitates, loses a yard. It's going to be 3rd and 7 here for Ramona. Ramona really need this completion here. And they get it. Pressed to finds Keontae Young, the cornerback, wide receiver phenom, and he picks up the first down. Had that drop earlier, but he is able to make the catch there and pick up the first down. Big first down for Ramona. They hand off to Bo. Nice spin. Runs into back of a blocker. Kind of stalls a little bit. Picks up 3 yards. So at their own 40 here, Ramona. Press takes a snap. Will toss to Bo. Picks up a couple yards, and it's going to be 3rd and 5. Tackle from Love, the cornerback there. Seen a bit of him throughout the game, but nice play there. 3rd and 5 here. So Ramona need this. Oh, and that's going to be a... Oh, what a hit from Love. Oh, my gosh. Keontae Young was wide open in the middle field. Love just absolutely dropped the hammer. To be honest, Young did a good job just holding on to that ball. My gosh. I don't know what these kids are doing these days, what they're eating, but jeez. They lay some big hits, that's for sure. These high schoolers, man. Whew. Empty backfield for Press. He's going to bring it down. He's going to pick up 9 yards. Maybe he slides and doesn't get touched, so I guess he just slides for about 3 yards. He picks up the first down, even though the slide started short. I don't know. I'll take it. Hand off the Bow. Met in the backfield, takes another big hit. My gosh. Cox busts through the hole and makes the tackle there. 2nd and 10. Another hand off the Bow, who's not nothing going for him right now. Ramona's gonna have to drop some new run plays here because these are not working. Big tackle from Asian Love will get the credit for that tackle, but there was 4 or 5 St. Francis players in the backfield there that just bring Bo down. He was not getting out of that one. So 3rd and 12 here. It's a long 3rd down. Prest is going to air one deep to the end zone, looking for swatted down. Well done. Great coverage by Williams. He was looking for Keontae Young in the corner of the end zone, but Williams breaks it up, and it's going to be a punt here for Ramona, because they're just outside field goal range. And let's see, they marked that one, but looked like another shank. So the Ramona kicker punts it about 15 yards, and St. Francis is going to take over here. And Reese fumbled the ball. It's recovered though. Looks like by a St. Francis player. Yep. Good for him. Well done from the Yushek got in there to bring down Reese. The ball was sitting on the ground. I don't think anybody saw it. 72, the lineman just sees the ball sitting there, nobody around, and jumps on it. Fortunate for St. Francis there on that play. They're able to get back on top of it. Still a loss of 4, but could have been much worse. As they pick up the first down anyway. Sant with the big catch and run. Picks up a big first down, near 20 yards. First down, St. Francis. Big catch for Sant there, who's talked about this young wide receiver core for St. Francis, all-around offense. And we see that again. So we've seen that QB draw hasn't worked too well for Reese, but it worked well there. He picks up 12 yards, slides after about a 9-yard gain, but then lays on his back for maybe a 2 or 3 yard pickup, and nobody touches him, so he is able to get the first down. James, the tight end, he had to make that catch, pick up another first down, and Ramona just have no answers right now. It's 3 first downs in a row for St. Francis. Big chunk plays. Sant, the Reese scramble, and then that play to James. Sant makes another snag this time. The only thing stopping this offense right now is the out-of-bounds line. And Rivers runs to the backfield, but he's able to break out. It picks up a first down. He breaks up 2 or 3 tackles. Ramona can't make a tackle right now. And Rivers, who was stalled in the backfield, flips, runs it outside, does a nice spin move, breaks the tackle, and picks up the first down. So St. Francis, who currently have a 3-point lead, are looking to score a touchdown and make it a 2-score game here, which this quarter's flying by. I mean, we're 6:30 left in this game, and a 10-point lead here would be huge for St. Francis. Andrews motioning into the backfield. Hey, looked like he had a grab, but Lewis is able to break that one up. I think it was Sant had his hands on that one, but unable to hold on. So it's going to be 3rd and 8, and for Ramona, you need to stop here. St. Francis looking to keep this drive moving. And Gio Love breaks through and brings him down. Couldn't have asked for a bigger sack at a bigger time. 8-yard loss, so it'll be 4th and 16, and it's going to be field goal time for St. Francis. Reese trying to buy some time there. Moves to his right, but Love says no. Brings him down, so I think that's the 4th or 5th sack for St. Francis there. And the kick from Hinch is up and good. 23-17. A 6-point lead here for St. Francis, as they kick it away. And Bo on the return out to about the 25. No blockers in sight on that kick return. Prest enters the field here. Nothing going for them really since the first quarter. So they were driving. St. Francis makes some adjustments, and it's all been good for them. 5:50 left here. And Bo is finally able to find a little running room there. Picks up 4 yards, but St. Francis has done a great job limiting his ability to make plays out of the backfield. Shotgun empty backfield, 2nd and 6 here for Crest. He's gonna pull the ball down and scramble. He does get touched on the slide this time, so it'll be 3rd and 2. It's a big 3rd down here. Crest is gonna pick it up with his legs. So gain of about 4 and a 1st down for Ramona, who need a big drive here. As the St. Francis fans look on, disappointed they couldn't get the stop on 3rd down there. Preston the backfield shotgun. We're down to 4:15. Handoff to Bo, who's going to get stopped again. Able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Kernesian with a big tackle there. Safety coming up, making a play. Crest is looking for something. Nothing there. He's going to take off. Gains about 20. Slides down. Picks up 23. Nothing open downfield, but he's doing a lot of damage with his legs. Don't think he has a lot of passing yards here today. We saw that in week 1. It was under 200 passing yards. They had three passing touchdowns, but same story here today. As he finds Bo, who's open in the backfield, and he's going to go for about 16 yards, and he's going to pick up a 1st down. So it looked like maybe it was a linebacker blitz, and Bo was left uncovered in the, kind of ran out to the side there. It's a little toss to the outside. And Love, oh my gosh. Love hit him first. He broke off that one, but Alexander came in for seconds and just absolutely pile drives Bo into the ground. A loss of 1. 2nd and 11 or 12 here. Crest is looking to make a pass. Finds Bo again. He's been very active in the receiving game today. And Ramona's going to call a timeout here on 3rd and 3. It's a big play for them. Coach wants to draw something up here. It's a big play. It's 4 down territory, obviously. You need a touchdown. So you got 2 bites at the apple here. I'm not sure if that's the correct saying, but James finds a backup tight end who barrels his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Cameron, I believe, is his name. Cole Cameron. Yes. Makes that catch about 10 yards out. Turns upfield and dives into the end zone. So it's pending this point after 24-23 lead here for the Ramona Rams. So for Ramona, you hadn't done much. Happy to take the lead here, but it's time for the defense to step up. They've had a few stops today, but you need one and you need one bad. Time for the defense to lock up, and for Reese, it's all about getting in field goal range. You got Hinch, who's a very good kicker. You need to get maybe to about the 40, I'd say. You get to the 40, and I think you're in a good position to win this game. But that's not a good start for St. Francis. Loss of 5 as Rush finally makes a play here. Had a big time in the game. Richie Rush comes through and brings it down for a sack. Loss of 5 for St. Francis, and they're not going to call a timeout. Interesting. So they have 3 timeouts. I guess not worried about time here. I guess with 1:30 left. Got to move downfield. That's a big time play for Andrews. You've got to call a timeout. Okay. However, I think it was 2nd and 15. It looked like you got a yard over, so 16 yards there. It's a big time play. So you need about 30, maybe 20, 30 yards here. He's going for it all. He's got him. Sit. Catches the ball at the 5-yard line.
Pass interference.
Pa-
Offense.
Oh my gosh. Daniel James is called for offensive pass interference. It's a 10-yard penalty. And more importantly, that breaks up what would have been an insane, like 50-something yard. But they get that anyway. That's a huge play. Wow, Reese is absolutely dotting up here. What a throw. So despite the offensive pass interference, you get probably almost close to enough yards here. And I think with that, you're probably in field goal range. So 2nd and inches. You might. Oh, and they score. So they hurry to the line, and Reese finds Andrews, who is able to, who's had quite the game. Looks like it's blown coverage, or at least they just called the hurry up, and there was just confusion in the secondary there. And Reese with an absolute beautiful throw to Andrews, who's had quite the game today. And he tops it off with the potentially the game-winning touchdown. They're going to go for 2 just to give themselves a little extra breathing room. I think that'll make it a 7-point game, yes. So they're going to go for 2 here. Reese is going to throw it, and that's James there. So he got called for that offensive pass interference earlier, but they get the touchdown anyway. And the 2-point to boot. Going to make it a 7-point lead here. 51 seconds left. So now you're starting to question if they might have left a little too much time on the clock here for Prust. They've got 51 and 2 timeouts left. So, you know, that's enough time to make something happen. You know, they obviously need a touchdown now. They could use a good return. They don't get that, so they're going to stop at the 24 here. They've got a ways to go. But this is what the EPSL is all about, guys. 40 seconds staring down the barrel of a loss here. And a big play. James Hogan, the tight end, right up the middle. They're all the way past the 50 all the way up. First play. And they call a timeout. So 5 seconds off the clock, and they just picked up about 20-plus yards there. 8 yards to Wagner. And they're not going to call timeout. They're going to let that clock run a little bit. They're going to look to spike the ball here on 2nd. It'll be 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. Prust airmailed that one, but oh, well done to catch that one. Didn't see who made the catch there, but big catch. And Bo gets on. Does he get out of bounds? No. So they don't have a timeout. They gotta get to the ball, get to the line here quickly. We're gonna spike the ball. What are we audibling? It's a spike. Jesus. What the hell are we doing? 4 seconds burn off doing that crap. 10 seconds left. You gotta go to the end zone. You can't throw it in the bounds. Oh my god! Oh my god! Wagner with the Prust. That's why he's MVP. Takes the hit, stands in the pocket, delivers an absolute dot to Wagner for the game-winning touchdown. That is insane. Wow. Wow. And they're, oh wow, okay. Going for 2. Going for 2. For the win. Ramona is going for the win here. This is ballsy. And they get it! Oh my god! Wow! That is unbelievable. Wagner, what a day for the young lad. We talked about the big body receiver. And Andrews, oh, he does it in front of Andrews, who's had a hell of a game. You can't blame the man. 6 seconds here, though. This game is not over yet. They can get a good return here. Got 1 second left to heave it. This game is not over. We could look at a potential defensive pass interference or something here. Suck. Getting some pressure. Oh, and just too much pressure on Reese there. He's not able to get the throw off. But wow. Just an insane last 2 minutes of this game. St. Francis with the perfect drive gets down the field. I was worried they left a little too much on the clock there. And we saw it come back to bite them. I think you can't leave Frust that much time left on the clock here. With 50 seconds left, and he able to make it happen. Just an insane game. There's the play to Andrews, who's had a heck of a game himself on both sides of the ball. You think at that point in the game that St. Francis has pulled out the win. But 50 seconds left, 2 timeouts. Frust is able to make it happen. And let's talk about the 2-pointer, right? They go for the win. Just, wow. Catching my breath here. Whew. 32-31 final. The Rams pull it out over St. Francis, who move to 0-2 off of 2 really, really tough defeats for St. Francis, who they've been in both games, but not able to pull out the win in either of them. And Ramona come from behind victory there. That's just, you love to see that never give up attitude from the Ramona Rams to pull out the win and move to 2-0. We'll go through the stats here. Reese with a great game for him. 31 of 37, 377, 83%. And then the 2 tutties. Rivers with a decent game, 1152. 1 touchdown. He had that nice touchdown. And Reese 6 for 34 on the ground. A fumble, but it wasn't turned over, so not going to count against him. Dylan Andrews, what a game for this guy. 8 for 157. Breakout game for him for sure. That big touchdown at the end of the game. Kirkland 6 for 46. He also had a touchdown. James the tight end, 6 for 40. Quiet game for him. Rivers 5 for 56 out of the backfield. And Stamp 4 for 49. Several big catches. A couple tight ends. Sorry, a couple CPUs. Cox, the CPU linebacker with a big game. Love those two are just dominant forces in the middle of the field there. But Love, 13 tackles, 3 tackles for loss. Carnesian. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. You'll have to tell me in chat. But big game for him for the safety there. Freshman safety and Andrews. Talked about his game on offense, but look at that. Putting in work on defense. 8 tackles. 1 tackle for loss. Gotta love that. Myers, the safety. Love the cornerback. Some plays there. Williams, who had a couple big pass breakups. And Martinez, he had the 1 sack. I wasn't sure if St. Francis got a sack. But yeah, Martinez got a sack, so. Alexander had a few big tackle for losses. Umar Ali, it was a quiet game for him. He's had a few big plays in that De La Salle game, but didn't hear much from him today. It's always tough when you're going against a mobile quarterback. And then Hinch, the kicker, 3 for 3. Good game from him, solid. And we'll break down the Ramona offense here for us. 30 for 35. 385-yard percentage, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and then he did have that rushing touchdown as well. 7 for 60 in that rushing touchdown. 15 for 41, so kind of a quiet game for both of the halfbacks in this one. But look at that. We were talking about Bo. He was very involved in the passing game. 8 for 53. And then this guy, man. Hell of a game for Wagner. 7 for 102. That game-winning touchdown and 2-point conversion. Hogan, who had that touchdown as well. 5 for 50. Solid game from him. Volta, pretty quiet. He was hot early, but just kind of fizzled out. Keontae Young, the two-way player, 3 for 37. And then Cameron, who got a touchdown, backup tight end. And Westfall, mentioned his name several times. 12 tackles, 3 sacks. My God, absolute beast out of linebacker blitzes. Euphoria, 9 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. Gino, we saw him come up for a few tackles from safety position. And Perea, yeah, those 2 safeties are making plays. Dello had that big sack. Traylon Austin. Lewis, revenge game for him. Kind of a quiet game. Joe Love, who had a big sack. I think he had that forced fumble that Ramona wasn't able to recover, but. And then Keontae Young, who, the two-way player, making some plays. And Richie Rush, we saw him get that. It's like a half sack. Him and Usuck combined for that one at the end. That was a big-time play in, I think, on that last drive for St. Francis. And Usuck. I think that's it for Wagner and Bo on kick returns. That'll do it, guys. So, wow. 32-31 final. Ramona 2-0. St. Francis moved to 0-2. Good night, EPSL. We will see you next week for week 3.